You have been in real estate how many years? Because you haven't been in real estate your entire career.
Right. I have a short version of my entire career, but real estate wise, I'm coming up on 13 years.
Okay. 13 years in real estate. And what did you do before you got into real estate? And I know you sort of came into real estate through the front door because your wife's father had been in real estate forever and ever, almost as long as my mother. And that's why we're modern traditions, because we believe in the traditional ways of doing business. But tell us about your initial career, because that's something you and I share in common as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit of connections there, which is wild. Shows you how it's a small world. But yeah, the short version is I went to Georgia Southern University, and while I was there, I had to pick a major, and I had a friend who said they had this booming logistics program that was doing really well for the school, and people were getting bachelor's degrees in basically logistics, but that's the complicated term, but it's transportation.
Right.
And so I graduated in 2000. Within a month, got a job with Ryder Transportation, which you're saying you've had some run-ins with, and was there from 2000 to 2012. And I basically had a lot of different sales roles. So I've kind of been a sales guy my whole life, basically. And then 2012 is when I joined RE/MAX.
What was it that made you want to get out of what you were doing and into real estate? Because I would assume there had to have been a driving force. And then I know you started working as a team member for another agent, a very, very good producing agent, very entrepreneurial agent. And I'd love to talk just a little bit about that experience, because so many people listen who want to get into real estate, and I think joining a team is the best way to do it.
Cleve, speaking of which, I literally talked to a guy today, had a 40 minute phone call about him wanting all the ins and outs of real estate, and there's been a lot of changes. Maybe towards the end, if we have time, we could get into a little bit of that, but it was a long phone call about how things 12 years ago, me getting into real estate, are different than somebody getting into real estate today. But anyway, I'll back up off of me getting into real estate. The first thing that happened was, obviously, you said my father-in-law had been a broker and had this RE/MAX franchise up and going. And my wife and I graduated college, and she got a job in the corporate world, but wasn't exactly happy with that job. And I was like, I'm going to say, maybe if she's here, there might be a different version, but I basically was like building her up, like, hey, your dad is in real estate, that'd be a good opportunity. I think you'd be really good at it. And so she started first. And then I was basically living vicariously through her, like what I wanted to do. I was like, hey, you should do it. So then when she was really good at it, I knew I was a sales guy. And so I went through the whole '08 thing with Ryder. All the builders accounts we had some were going out of business.
Right.
Sheetrock guys, lumber guys were way down on their production levels.
Right.
So I got to be in the transportation side of that whole thing. You were in real estate, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For the whole fun, 2008 to 2012.
Yeah, so I got in 2012, so 4 years later. So what happened was there was some type of recovery happening. I don't know if the public realized it yet, but when I got in 2012, there were people who wanted to buy, and prices were low, and interest rates, I want to say, were pretty good too.
Yeah.
But there were people stuck upside down in their homes. They owed more on the mortgage than they would actually be able to sell on the market for. So I was, when I first started, a lot of the deals that I were coming up with were HUD homes, foreclosures, short sales, $100,000 homes, $65,000 homes. And then the price point kind of built up for me as time went on.